Hi, this is Lily Cotilla, licensed marriage and family therapist. If you are a female, in particular a younger female, it's not uncommon when you have relationship issues to turn to your girlfriends and vent and or explain a scenario that has happened between you and your partner in order to get feedback or support or the opinion of other rather than exclusively the self. And while this is great in theory, because friends are supportive of each other typically and want what's best for the friend, however, that said, when a story or an interaction from within the relationship is explained to that friend, she simply doesn't know the full picture. You're extrapolating and taking one argument you had or something that was said, or if plans got canceled and changed, and you're using that to vent to your friend for support and also to just get the energy out of your body. That friend will listen and give you suggestions maybe, and or just listen. Then you go to that friend again and you explain another scenario that has transpired, and it gets put into her brain like in a similar place that the first scenario you described transpired. So she begins to formulate an opinion about you, your relationship, and the person or partner whom you are with. And as much loving and support that friends think they're being when it comes to giving relational advice, it's often not helpful for the best interest of the relationship, because she's actually taking your side. She may be objective about certain things, but more often than not, that friend will start to develop an opinion about the guy that you're with, and subtly over time make commentary or facial expressions or tones of voice in connection with perhaps other stories that you share with her that might be positive that have transpired between you and your boyfriend. Once a friend has an opinion about your relationship and the guy that you're with or the female that you're with, that opinion, it doesn't change. And she will think that this is not the right guy for you, and it will come out in subtle ways via dialoguing between each other. And it actually affects the friendship too, because then the person who is in the relationship and wants to vent or talk or get feedback from the girlfriend then starts shutting down pieces of herself. And or she might listen to the girlfriend and leave the relationship that was perfectly viable had the girlfriend known all the pieces of the connecting information. And it's not that one is trying to hide, like, oh, well, I did this 3 weeks ago and then he did this yesterday. People may not think of events as being connected or coupled or joined, or that there's a reaction for every action that you take. So this is why therapy is actually important. And I will say I am a very good couples therapist, and I've specialized in couples therapy for probably 7-8 years out of my entire career. Now, that said, there is no research that supports that couples therapy is actually effective and that it decreases breakup rate and or divorce rate. But if you're a female and you're experiencing relationship issues, it's really not a bad idea to bounce some of the problems off of a trained psychotherapist, so that eliminates the friend equation and the possibility of it affecting a perfectly great relationship with some minor problems due to feedback and or continued repetition of the story as the relationship progresses. Now, another thing that I want to offer is that I work at some clinics in Playas, Tijuana, Mexico. And there is a shaman who comes and he provides ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a plant medicine that is very bonding for people. When couples do ayahuasca together and share that journey, they enter an energetic space that is like that of oneness, and it breaks down barriers that have created separation. It increases oxytocin and prolactin levels within the body. And as we know, oxytocin is both a hormone and a neurotransmitter. Breastfeeding mothers bond with babies through oxytocin. At the beginning of relationships, oxytocin is high. You've just met, your hormones are there, you're really feeling the bond. Well, with time and life and interactions, all couples have problems. The difficulty is joining those problems again or bypassing them. And, I hear couples often going back and regurgitating the same story of what happened 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And it's important to leave the past in the past. Even if you don't have resolution over an argument, let's say, that has transpired, the theme underpinning that argument is bound to come up again. So it's important to not necessarily, even if your feelings have been hurt, and you may very well be in the right, or there may not be a right or a wrong, but sometimes just walking away, well, if you're going to walk away, tell the person, I need to take a 20-minute break for myself, a breather or something like that. Don't just get up and leave. That's disrespectful to the relationship. And it creates a pattern of insecurity of a breakup or not breakup or breakup or not breakup. But that event, the underpinning theme is bound to come up again in another life scenario with your partner. So it's that second or third time when that theme presents that is causing friction in your relationship, where you have opportunities to get therapeutic tips on how to then proceed when this same theme pops itself up again like a whack-a-mole at the circus. There are certain tools and techniques and ways of talk and or language that are not blaming or shaming, but will help move the relationship in a positive direction and or suggest to the partner in a subtle way, ideally, what would be different the next time this happens, and or the next time this happens, you will do such and such. But it's important to not do it in the moment of the first fight or argument regarding whatever X variable is that you're fighting about, because you're heated, your cortisol, your adrenaline is rushing. You're not on the run, so you're not getting it out of your body, so it's spewing out your mouth. So really try and self-soothe. Again, the theme will arise again, and you can deal with it, especially using therapeutic tools to get the result that you want in the relationship. And people are often very malleable if approached in the right way and with the right tone and with the right timing. So I'm sharing this video if you are interested in preserving a relationship and or creating and optimizing a relationship. So now, again, aside from all the therapeutic elements. Ayahuasca, when couples do it together, it's like it allows for the washing of the past, of the resentments, to slough off the psyche, and it gives you a fresh start. You have this new elevated oxytocin bond with your partner, and you've just shared some psychedelic, energetic spaces beyond this realm together. And coming down to Mexico also for 5 days, doing 2 nights of ayahuasca, and often couples will do 5-MeO DMT to follow. And if you want some touristy things, as well as couples massage, it can really be a nice break from your life, from your relationship problems, to create this 5-day space. Come down to Tijuana, Mexico, and do a couples ayahuasca ceremony and a couples 5-MeO DMT. Biologically, again, it increases oxytocin between the two people in the relationship. It enhances the bond. And it's something that people do more than once. It's not a one-time thing. Some couples may commit to doing quarterly ayahuasca ceremonies together just to keep that bond and that oxytocin elevated and connected with each other, and let the bygones be bygones and really leave them in the past and not bring them currently into the verbiage of the now. Or, if you have a fight about something and that fight reminds you of XYZ that happens in the past, many people often fight about what they're fighting about and then throw in XYZ from year 5 ago, year 10 ago, and from 8 months ago. And this bombardment and compilation of lining up all the events with a similar underpinning theme is just not helpful for a relationship, and you will never get closer. It'll always be like a back and forth, and should I be with him? Shouldn't I be with him? Do I love him? Do I not love him? Should I leave? Will I regret it if I leave? These questions will always remain. So if you're a female and you would like some guidance with your relationship and how to maximize what you want out of that relationship and really create a symbiotic experience with your partner, please give me a call at 619-830-0982. You can also email me at lilycotilla8, the number 8, at gmail.com. And ayahuasca, my friends, is just so powerful. I can't speak highly enough about it. If you're at that depths of despair place, as Anne of Green Gables, or Anne with an E, would say, the depths of despair, and you feel like there's no hope, but you want it to work, ayahuasca biologically increases oxytocin and helps the bonding in a dramatic way for couples. So please keep it in mind if you want to really make your relationship work. Have a great day.